Yes guys, welcome back. Something a little bit different today. A little bit of a follow-on from a previous video, bodybuilding on a budget. And I'm going to do a meal prep today with the foods that we got during that video and do a bulking on a budget meal prep. So if you haven't seen that previous video, I would suggest you go and watch it and then come back to this one. I'll put a link in the description as well. So with this full day of eating, I'm going to show you how simple it can be to have a cheap, affordable, balanced diet that also tastes good in a bulk. So calories for the day will work out just over 3,600 calories, and the cost of this full day of eating will be just under £8.50, which for a bulking diet, I think that's pretty cheap for the quality of foods that we are going to get in this. So we're going to crack on. I will get this cooked up. I will start putting it together, and then we'll show you how we're going to dish it out. Firstly, the most important thing is going to be your weighing scales. Super important when you want to be very accurate with your caloric intake and your macro breakdown as well. So I will weigh everything on this, and then I can portion it out from there. So we will start off. I'll actually start off cooking the beef and cooking the chicken. We're gonna have 2 chicken meals and 2 beef meals. So I'll cook these. While these are cooking, I'll get everything else ready, and then we'll start dishing these together when they're cooked as well. And just to be clear, this is not a current full day of eating for me. This is a little bit of help for you guys if you are struggling to put a meal plan together on a budget for a bulk to help you out. So these are mock meals that are very simple to put together that can help you. But if you do want to see any of my current full days of eating, go back on, watch your previous videos. I have plenty up there if you want more examples of what you can have. So the first thing I'm actually going to do with the chicken is put it in the air fryer. So I'll get some tin foil. I will line the air fryer with the tin foil, and then I will pop this lad in here. So for me personally, I actually don't season the chicken when I put it in. If I want to add any seasoning to this, and if you have any left in your budget to get some seasoning, I'd put it on at the end. So I'll put this in here. Chicken in the air fryer, 190 degrees for 20 minutes, and that should be absolutely perfect. So I'll leave that cooking, and then what I shall do is I will get my beef and I will actually put this on the pan. This was actually defrosted, so it's actually still frosting. Do not try this at home, kids, but that should do. That should start to cook up for me there now. Now I will leave the beef on, I will leave the chicken on, and I will start dishing together my other bits as well. So we have the frozen veg. I am going to have 4 servings of this across 4 meals. So I'm going to put 80 grams in each meal. 80 grams here is perfect for a serving of veg. And veg is going to be super, super important. Don't neglect it. It will have a lot of micronutrients in it. It will help with digestion. So 320 grams, my quick maths was wrong. There we go. 320 grams of the veg. There's that, that's my daily veg. So what I will do here is I'll pop that in the microwave. So cover it with a lid. I'll put that in for 5 minutes. And that is perfect. So that is my veg for the day done. We will then cook the spuds. So I'm going to show you how you can have a good bit of variety with your food, even from the same food source. So what I'll do is I will cook 1 meal of spuds in the air fryer for you, and I will cook 1 meal and boil them in the pots. Completely different, and I will show you how you can have variety within your diets with them same food sources. So in an off season, I think it's very, very important to have that variety of foods and have that variety. Even though they're still potatoes, you're having them in 2 different ways, because when you're bulking, you start to get fuller a lot faster. Food starts to get a lot more boring, a lot more bland. So you can take these simple foods and make them in different ways and make them more appetizing and have variety. It really goes a long way in making things a bit more sustainable for you in a bulking phase. So with these potatoes, I'm going to do 500 grams in each of the meals. That is 500 on the button. that is literally perfect. So 500 grams, I will use that for one meal, and then I'll weigh another 500 grams, and I will use this for the second meal. This is why the scale is important. If I eyeballed that, it definitely would not have been accurate. There's 500 grams on the button. So I want potatoes in here for this bulking way of eating, to show you the variety we can have, and also how they're a very cheap carb source too. But as you get deeper into the bulking phase, this 500 grams of potatoes here, nearly 90 grams of carbs here, that's going to be a lot more volume. So a lot more sitting in your stomach in comparison to if you had 90 grams of carbs from rice. So as you get really deep into a bulking phase, to make it easier for you to put food down, it's probably going to be wise to potentially pull these out and bring in lower volume food sources, carb sources, such as rice. So it'd be less volume in your stomach in comparison to more volume of spuds. The breakfast will consist of 120 grams of oats. 120 grams of oats will go down pretty easy. It's not going to be too filling, so we will have this and alongside eggs as our protein source. And I'll also put some banana in this as well, which I will show you. But oats, a super convenient carb source, and it brings a bit more variety in comparison to rice, potatoes, etc. They're good. A very, very good source of carbs for breakfasts, because a lot of people like cereal for breakfasts. So oats is the closest thing. Oats kind of is a cereal. Have the beef complete. I will leave that to the side to cool for a few minutes while everything else is cooking before we dish everything up. Chicken is nearly done. Spuds are done. Well, spuds are cooking, and then we'll put these babies in the air fryer once the chicken is done as well. And yeah, eggs. We'll make the meal one. Eggs, I like to make them scrambled, but you can make them whatever way you want. Well, I like to make them scrambled because when I try to make an omelette, they just turn out scrambled anyway, because I just end up fucking it up. So yeah, we're gonna run with 5 eggs. So eggs, that's obviously your protein source, but also a fat source here too, with the yolks in here, and healthy fats as well. Fats are important. I think a lot of people neglect fats, but fats are going to be very important for, you know, hormonal function in a bulking phase. I do believe that there is such a thing as too high of fat intake. The reason being is I think the higher your fats are, the more full you get, the more satiated you get, the more it slows down the digestion of the carbohydrates. So if you're having like loads and loads of fats, I do feel like all of a sudden like the digestion will become a little bit slower. So fats are important, but I think not an excessive amounts in a bulking phase. And plus, fats are the macronutrients that have the highest amount of calories. So for every 1 gram of fats, there's 9 calories. For every 1 gram of protein or carbs, there's only 4 calories. So very calorie dense fats are, which is why they can be beneficial in a bulking phase too. Okay, so chicken is done. If you are lazy and you don't like cooking food, get yourself an air fryer. You can actually get air fryers that are massive with like a couple of compartments. And that way you could put like your potatoes and your chicken on at the same time. Literally, you just put it in, you walk away, it's done. So if you say you don't have time to cook food, or put it in, walk away. And this is the same with a rice cooker as well. 2 massive hacks for preparing and cooking your food: a rice cooker and an air fryer. If you're lazy, them 2 are going to be your best friends. You put your food in, you turn it on, you walk away. It's done. So you can go and do whatever you have to do. You don't have to stand there cooking. So in total, it'll probably cost you £50 maybe for an air fryer, for a cheap air fryer, for a cheap rice cooker. It's an investment. It's gonna save you a lot of hassle, a lot of time, and it will definitely help you be more adherent and make your diet more sustainable for you to stick to. So that is the chicken out and the potatoes in. So with these, I will go 180 degrees for 20 minutes, and that should be absolutely perfect. While these ones are still cooking. These ones, I literally just put them in the water, turn it on. When the water starts boiling, I will just keep a close eye on it, and I'll poke them with a fork. And when they start to get pretty soft, they're good to go. Usually takes like 15 minutes or so. They're not done just yet. Ready, straight from the rice cooker. Super convenient. That is perfect. That is one. We have seconds. Now with rice, there's only one way you can make rice. It looks and it tastes the same either way in comparison to sports. But we can make it taste good with seasoning, which I will show you in a few minutes. I should probably do this with like a lid, but like I'm not really sure where it is. So we'll do it this way. Made it work. There we go. Pretty much dished up, so we're nearly there. So just have to get the oats ready. How I'll do the oats is I'll actually boil the kettle, and for me, I just let the oats soak in the hot water. So I'll show you. We'll boil it, and then we'll throw it in and get these bad boys ready. So with the oats, I'll pour the boiling water in just till it covers the top of them, and then I'll just let that soak up. Hopefully it actually works. If it doesn't soak up, I'll put it in the microwave for a minute or two just to kind of get all the moisture out, but that should be perfect. I'll give it a minute. What I actually do when I put the water in, I'll cover it with something, so a plate, or in this case the lid. I'll just put it over the top of it, and that should just let it soak up that water a little bit faster. So something I make sure I do with my own clients and within their diet plans is making sure they have foods and meals that they enjoy in that plan, and they have a lot of variety as well that they can actually look forward to each and every meal. It's why they all make epic progress, because they're able to stick to their diet plan. And the more you can stick to a diet plan, the more progress you're going to make. I see it time and time again. The main reason why people don't make the progress they want is because they can't stick to something. It's not sustainable. So there has to be something in there that they're not enjoying, or they're not looking forward to, or they don't like. So if we can fix that and make sure that it's meals they look forward to, that's going to equal to more progress. If you are interested in being coached by myself, or just want to find out more details about what it involves, I will put the link down in the description. So go click the link. It'll bring you straight through to my WhatsApp. Drop me over a message and I will get back to you. And to give you a bit of a brief insight into how I work in nutrition inside of my coaching, I'll put a little screen grab of the nutrition plan on the screen here, and it will show you that when you input a food, it gives you the exact amount of calories and macros across from it, and it also gives you the option to be able to make adjustments and mix and match and make these swaps out for foods if you don't enjoy them, etc. as well. So it's the exact way I like to do things inside of my coaching with my own clients. Perfect. So look at that. It's all soaked up. So that's them finished. We'll clean that mess in a few minutes, but we'll finish this for now. And then we have the banana. I'll put the banana in with the oats. We can because it will actually make it taste a little bit better. A lot of people don't like oats, and they may look at this and be like, Mark, that is not appetizing. And that is absolutely fine. Another option you could use here is cream of rice. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than oats though, that's the only thing. Don't forget, this is bulking on a budget. This is going to be your cheapest option here when it comes to, you know, a cereal style. So cream of rice could be another option, or potentially what you could do to kind of make this taste a little bit better is, if you don't like eggs and oats, you could potentially, the protein and the fats in the eggs, you could use whey protein to put into your oats and mix it in, which will make it taste that bit better. And you could also potentially get some peanut butter, which is also extremely cheap, and put that into this as well, instead of the fats in the eggs. So that way, instead of these two, if your appetite is low, you could potentially pull this away and then bring the proteins and the fats from whey and nut butter into this, which will make the volume lower and also make it easier to get down. So there we have the meals, okay? That is a well-balanced diet. We have a mixture of your carbs, your fats, your proteins. There's a lot of variety. There's different protein sources. There's different carb sources. It's a well-balanced diet for a day, okay? To make things even a little bit more enjoyable as well and make them taste that little bit better, if you have the budgets to get a couple of condiments, I would definitely recommend to do so. So you could look at some seasonings and low-calorie sauces such as French's mustard and 50% less sugar and salts, tomato ketchup. So a couple of options there. And then this for me is always going to be a staple. Pink Himalayan salts. To be honest, any salts will do the job here, but this is going to flavor your meals and make them taste better, but it's also going to have a massive role in performance, hydration, and this is probably the biggest tip I can give you for getting a better pump in the gym. Salt your meals, and I guarantee you the muscle cell is going to be a lot more hydrated, and you will get a better pump in your workouts. So this is a staple every day on all my meals. So let's go ahead and sprinkle some of these bad boys over the meals, and then we can see how good or how much better we can make them look. So guys, all food is ready. I'm gonna break things down for you bit by bit here, okay? So first meal, we have 120 grams of oats, and we have 1 banana, plus 5 whole eggs. So that is going to be meal 1. That is going to be breakfast. Again, when I'm going through these meals, bear in mind, this is bodybuilding on a budget. This is me doing things as cheap as possible to bulk up with a well-balanced diet, okay? So yes, you can probably make this a bit more appetizing, bring in other stuff as well, but this is pretty damn cheap. Second meal, we have rice, chicken, veg. Pretty straightforward. So we have 110 grams of rice, raw weight. We have 200 grams of chicken, and we have 80 grams of mixed frozen veg. So that is going to be a staple. So here you have your carbs, your micronutrients, your proteins. No fats in this meal directly, but we have plenty of fats across your meals, which I'll go through. Going on to meal number 3. In this one, we have 200 grams of 5% beef mince. You can actually go with some higher fat content beef as well, but as I touched on earlier in the video, I want to try and control the fats to not be overly excessive as well. We have 80 grams of frozen veg here too, and then we have 500 grams of potatoes. With these, I put these ones in the air fryer to give them a little bit different texture, so a little bit of a crunch in them as well. Kind of tastes like chips. So on this, I put some ketchup on it, along with some all-purpose seasoning. On that chicken meal, I put some mustard on that one. On to meal number 4, the same as meal number 2. We have the 110 grams of rice, we have 200 grams of chicken, and then we have the 80 grams of mixed vegetables in here as well. Alongside this one, we have 1 banana. So we have some more so we have another piece of fruit. We have banana in meal 1 as well. We have some more micronutrients and also carbs. In 1 banana, there's over 20 grams of carbs here. So a great addition as a carb source. Now, meal number 5 and the final one, is going to be similar to meal 3, but this time the spuds are cooked a little bit differently. So I boiled these ones, so again the texture is completely different to the air fried chips. So 500 grams of potato, 200 grams of lean beef, 80 grams of veg, and that is our 5 meals. Now in total, what this gives us is 3,621 calories, 273 grams of protein, 504 grams of carbohydrates, and 57 grams of fats. Had to have a look there to make sure it was right. So, all in all, this costs less than £8.50 to make a full day of bulking foods. So we have to realize if we're looking to bodybuild, it's not always going to be super cheap, but I promise you, this is along the lines of something that's going to be more affordable for you in comparison to other food sources and other meals that you may come across. So across the week. So if you were a man looking to gain muscle and you're currently anywhere from, 200 pounds to 250 pounds, this would be ideal for you. And the reason I say that is because if there's 270 grams of protein here, you're looking at anywhere from 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Rule of thumb, that would be absolutely perfect, which covers you across this setup. Now everyone's going to be different, so trial it, gauge your progression, see how you feel, have a look at the progress you're making, and then alter it based off your own needs. You may need a little bit more food, you may need a little bit less food if the rate of gain is too high. You can just alter the amount of carbs, fats, etc. as you go. So this is a baseline here. I'm not saying this is exactly what you have to do, but set this as your baseline, see how your body responds, and then manipulate here and there accordingly. And if you need more help in doing so, and if you need more help with adjusting and altering things for you, or you just need more accountability, keep your ass on track, go to my bio, drop me a message, and let's get cracking on your coaching journey. So guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments box. I'll be happy to answer. Like I said, if you haven't, go back and watch the Bodybuilding on a Budget grocery haul. I think that will be massively helpful for you as well. And any more ideas or suggestions that you want me to go through for you, drop them below and I'll be sure to get on that. Thank you very much guys, I appreciate it. Like, share, comment and subscribe. It would mean a lot, and I will see you in the next one.